Dear students, welcome to online classes. Today we are going to discuss about fuels from the lesson Combustion, Fuel and Flame, 8th class physics. Fuels. We know that combustion gives heat and light. The sources of heat for domestic, automobile and industrial purposes are mainly wood, charcoal, petrol, kerosene, LPG, CNG, etc. These substances are called fuels. So in the previous chapter, we studied about the fossil fuels, that is about the coal and petroleum. We not only use fossil fuels but also other kinds of fuels for different purposes at home, in automobiles and in industries. Let us examine the tables given below. So we have classified based on the purpose. First one, domestic purpose. We use wood, LPG and CNG for domestic in the house purpose, and we use the fuels gasoline. Gasoline means nothing but the petrol, diesel, kerosene for the transportation purpose, and for the industrial purpose we use coal, charcoal, natural gas as fuels. So classify the above examples into solid and liquid and gaseous fuels. So for the solid fuels from the above table we can say coal, charcoal and wood are the examples. Gasoline, diesel and kerosene are the examples of the fuels in liquid state. LPG, CNG and natural gas are the example for the fuels in gaseous state. So can you decide the best fuel among them based on the table? And what is the criteria to decide a best fuel? Right, deciding the best fuel depends upon the purpose of its use. A best fuel for cooking may not be the best fuel for running an automobile. It depends on the purpose of its use. In general, there are several factors for choosing a fuel. So, we can say the best fuel based on the remaining factors, coming factors. First one is purpose of use. Fuel efficiency and availability means how much efficiently the fuel works as well as and how much it is available. Reasonable price. It should also available in reasonable price. And easy to handle and safe to store. So there should be no dangers while handling the fuel. So that is easy to handle and safe to store. And we should store safely without any danger. And easy to ignite and put off, etc. So whenever we want, we can just start the flame. Whenever we don't want, we just put off very easily. We don't struggle much for the ignite and put off the flame. The fuel should also burn at moderate rate and cause less pollution. In addition of all these, it should have a high calorific value. So based on these 7 points, we can say the best fuel for that purpose. What is calorific value? Let us take 1 kg of coal or 1 kg of cow dung. So now suppose 1 kg of coal and 1 kg of cow dung are burnt. Which one produces more heat? Obviously the coal. So different substances produce different amounts of heat on burning. Heat is measured in kilojoules. So for that calorific value, let us take a cylindrical vessel. In that, keep 1 kg of the coal. Close it tightly. Supply oxygen through a pipe. Insert a thermometer in it. Oxygen supply through the pipe inlet and start burning. You need to check the initial temperature before combustion, and after complete combustion you have to check the final temperature. You can observe that the thermometer reading was raised up. So calorific value of a fuel is the amount of heat energy produced on complete combustion of 1 kg of that fuel. Here we have taken coal and somebody has taken some other. Whatever it may be, the calorific value of that fuel is the amount of heat energy produced on the complete combustion of 1 kg of that fuel, and it is measured in kilojoules per kg. So these are the different calorific values of different types of fuels. Cow dung 6000 to 8000, wood 17,000 to 22,000 kilojoules per kg, coal 25,000 to 33,000, petrol 45,000, kerosene diesel again 45,000, CNG 50, LPG 55,000, biogas 35,000 to 40,000, and hydrogen 1,50,000 kilojoules per kg. From the table we can say that hydrogen is the most efficient fuel according to the calorific value. The very next topic is fire control. You must have seen or heard about fire breaking out in houses, shops, factories, etc. That is, fire accident may happen. How can we put off the fire if it breaks out? If any fire accident happens, how can we control it? We use many methods to extinguish a fire, but they all follow one principle, which is the principle of elimination of the factors which support the combustion. Now, what are the factors that support the combustion? Yes, let us recall them. First one is the presence of combustible fuel. Second one, supply of air or oxygen. Third one, high temperatures, that is more than the ignition temperatures. These three are the factors that support the combustion, so that we can eliminate any of these things. So, elimination of any one of the three factors will help in the controlling the fire. So let us see an example. If a fire breaks out in a house or in any business establishment, then fire brigade will come. First they will put off the electric mains off, all the electric supply off. And then they are starting to spray water on the fire. The water spray cools the combustible material below to ignition temperature, so this prevents the fire from the spreading. Then the heat turns the water into vapors which surrounds the burning material and prevent the supply of oxygen to the burning material. Means it is like a covering, so the fire is extinguished. The most common fire extinguisher is water, and this water is suitable to extinguish the fire happened with wood, cloth and paper. But the water is not suitable to extinguish the fires happened with the electricity, oils and fuels, petrol, diesel, etc. So if electrical equipment is on fire, water may conduct electricity and harm those trying to douse the fire. Means they will feel the shock because water supplies electricity. Water is also not suitable for fires involving oil and petrol, because water is heavier than oil it sinks below the oil and oil keeps burning on the top. Since it is difficult to remove the combustible material from a fire, cutting off air supply and lowering the temperature are the better methods. In cases where water cannot be used, carbon dioxide gas is the best choice used to extinguish the fire, and that is also heavier than oxygen. So it can be stored as a liquid in cylinders under high pressure. When released from the cylinder, it expands and brings down the temperature. So this is the fire extinguisher that we commonly see in our schools and offices, etc. It also covers the fire like a blanket. Since the contact between the fuel and oxygen is cut off with the this carbon dioxide blanket, the fire is controlled. You can see in this way it will work. And this is a live example. You just you just run the carbon dioxide gas onto the flame directly. So that is why it is an excellent fire extinguisher. The added advantage of carbon dioxide is that in most cases it does not harm the electrical equipment, and it is mandatory for offices, educational institutions and multi-stored buildings to install fire extinguishers. Students, I hope you understood. Thank you.